your host, Sean Myrie. Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Live and direct, and we're also on Twitch. We got a Twitch, people. So you gotta check that out. I got a Twitch. I don't know why I'm saying we. I got a Twitch. What is that? What is that? Is that a light? Damn, it's so bright. So, this episode is what's the best weed herb you ever had? And people follow the platforms, follow the platforms. It's all in the link. What's the best weed herb you ever had? You know what? I'm gonna think back. This must have been over 28 years ago. One of the best, I shouldn't say the best, but strongest was in high school, right? There's one called, let me see, there's a couple strand names I remember. White Rhino. White Rhino? Whew, I remember got it from a Vietnamese guy. That shit is strong. Tiger's Tail, another one, was strong. Those those strands, I don't see them too much around anymore. Those things, soon as you took one puff, damn, you passed that shit, right? So yeah, that weed I don't see anymore. Tiger's Tail, White Rhino. What else is there? There's a couple others. What happened to it, right? Those are still, they're probably still around, but it's very expensive to purchase. When you go into a dispensary anywhere, especially in Canada, the prices depends where you are, but it could be high priced because what you're doing, you're paying for the packaging. When you go to a dispensary, you're paying for the name and you're paying for the package. So I never got. I'm not saying it ain't no good quality, right, in the dispensaries, but I never had anything like the best quality from any dispensary. Never, ever, ever, ever. I'm still waiting for that quality. Still waiting for that quality. Wait. What you saying, people? It's the Myrie Jane podcast with your host, Sean Myrie. Still waiting for that good quality. There's good quality, but it's expensive. For you to get good quality from a dispensary, even in Canada, it's gonna cost you more money, a lot of money, right? I can't say the names exactly because YouTube, they're against certain things, but it's expensive, man. It's expensive. And when it's expensive, it makes people want to go to the black market. That's what happens. When it's expensive, it makes people wanting to go to the black market, right? So right now, there's a variety of dispensaries out there in the market right now. Someone's like sending me all this crap right now in my messenger, right? But right now, the best I ever had, I would say, was in high school. High school, and that's a long time ago. That's a good while ago. That's over. Let me see how much years that would be. 2026. Over 30 years, man. Over 30 years, about 30 years. I haven't had the good, like real great quality. I shouldn't say over 30 years. After that, I was smoking still good shit. But the great quality, it's been over 20 years. I could say over 20 years. The last time I smoked something really good, there's sticky E shit right now, but really good was in probably the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and after when legalization became popular in certain markets, the quality started to kind of go down. It started to go down. But my best experience is, I would say, high school, right? Those guys, the people I was going to high school with, they knew about their weed, right? High school was the best quality, right? Back then, people were growing probably, I don't know what happened, but they grew some good bud. Wherever those, my friends or my schoolmates was getting their stuff from, it was some good bud. Don't get good bud anymore like that. Not sticky. A lot of it's dry, really dry. There's hardly any sticky icky. Hardly any sticky icky. The best type of weed to me is when you break it up and your hands has the residue still on it. You can smell that and it's sticky on your hands and stuff like that. You could still smell the residue strong on your hands. If it doesn't have that, I'm not saying it might not be alright, but it's not gonna be. You could tell how much THC strength it has, straight up, right? So that's how it goes. That's how it goes. People, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Right now, live and direct on the Myri Jane podcast, right? Streaming live. Haven't been on here like I'm saying for a while. Gotta move the algorithm, play with the algorithm a little bit. It's like you're turning on a switch. So, people, support the platform, subscribe if you can. I'll be doing a variety of different lives. But yeah, the best I ever had was high school, man. And even after I had, actually, I shouldn't say just high school. I would say up until I was like at least 27. And then it started to change. The weed started to transform into something else, right? A lot of places. But now, because it's legal, it's good. Because it's legal now, the market's good. People are not scared to grow as much. People are more free to grow. It's legal, so we get a variety of flavors, a variety of different herbs to try. A whole variety of stuff you could try. But now, I don't know with promotion of it, it's hard to promote because there's strict people, been restricting people online who have cannabis business to promote. So if you can promote, how are people gonna learn about weed? Because you don't have no promotion. I'm blessed that got I didn't need the internet to know what's good. Right? So, like I said, it's 2026. Just call it. It's been 20 years is the last time we really had. There's good shit now, but I mean, 20 years since it's been really good. About over 20 years. What happened? What happened? So for you to get that sticky, icky at a dispensary, just say you want to get a good amount, it's gonna cost you some dollars, yo. I'm not talking about $10, $20. It's gonna cost you a couple hundred for at a dispensary. Most dispensaries, it's gonna cost you a couple hundred to get a amount where you can get on the black market for cheap, way cheaper. It's the quality, whatever quality you want. Some people don't mind lesser qualities, THC. Some people will not even touch that shit. See, that's one thing. Once you've been smoking good quality for a long time, you don't want anything less than that. You don't want anything less. You want the same or better quality. That's it. 100%. You want the same type of quality. You don't want less if you're used to good quality. And I'm used to good quality. What happened is the market, let's see what happened, became legal, right? So even bullshit was thrown out there to be sold. Because in a lot of the dispensaries, there's a lot of bullshit. I don't even need to go there to check. I already know there's a lot of bullshit in the dispensaries. So, the best bud I ever had was probably in high school and a little bit after that. That's the best bud. And that's a long time ago. They got good bud now. There's a lot of good bud now, but you gotta really do your research and you gotta look for it. There's good bud now, but you gotta do. It's not like, yeah, you gotta do your research. There's tons of it, tons of good bud right now, but you gotta do your research, like I said. And we're on. Well, I'm on all platforms: the Twitch, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can check out podcasts. But I remember one story when I was in high school. I smoked. I don't know if they put some shit in it, but I smoked, and that it was at lunchtime. That's when we used to smoke all the time. But I remember one time I smoked and I was sitting on the bench. I could not move, and when I was eating something, it was like it was slow motion. That shit was. I don't even say that was the best, but that was some powerful herbs. Powerful herbs. I couldn't say that's the best because that was very strong, very strong. And I was in high school, so and I could, I could smoke with the best of them, but that was some strong shit, man. Nothing better than high school days, man. Nothing better than those days. But right now, it's whatever you got, you will take, right? Um, the best bud was in high school, and it was indica for sure. It's indica. Sativas were more used to be more popular. The sativas, but that was what they considered. People consider that cess, right? More outdoor and shit like that. The indica's more indoor grown, so the indica's more concentrated, and that shit is the stuff what knocks you out. The sativa is the stuff what keeps you up, supposed to keep you up and moving. That stuff is not as popular anymore. They have hybrids, right? The hybrids are right. That's all right. They didn't have that back in the day, promoted as what we know. But yeah, the hybrid is good. Indica, people still love their indica. The sativa is there, but the sativas is not that popular for people. Sativa is not that popular for people. It's the indica, right? So the indica is what I was smoking when I was in high school. The best bud was high school and a couple years after. That's what I remember. I remember a guy, me and my brother, and even the neighborhood, we used to check this guy named Bubba. Much respect to Bubba. Bubba had the best, I should say, I could say till this day. And I gotta give him it because other people came after him. Bubba had the best weed up until today. There's other people. God rest my cousin. He had good weed too. But Bubba, when it came to that Kush, no one had Kush like that guy. No one had no weed like that guy. Who I know of. Unless the only people who compete was high school. But Bubba, he knows who he is. He had the best shit. And he would give you a good amount. Way before these times. Like for $20, you gave Bubba 20. Whew. You gave Bubba $20. You got a good amount. I remember that shit. You gave Bubba $20. You're good for a good while, yo. That man would just put his hand in his bag and take it out, put it there. You are, go, gone. He'd hook you up. That's how much weed that guy had. But his weed was the type of weed when you smoke, you have to share that shit. You smoke one of that man's his shit. You ain't smoking another joint after that for a while. So I should say from high school and after high school, the best bud, consistent bud I had was from my neighborhood. I could actually say that. The best bud what I had I was purchasing is from my neighborhood. Bubba. This guy big Bubba used to this black guy knew. We knew. Lived in my area. Didn't have to go far. We were spoiled with it. Didn't have to go far. He had the best bud in the whole area, man. Sticky, icky. His weed was so strong. When you got it, you had to bag that up. You had to wrap that up because if you didn't wrap it up, it'd stink up the whole house, yo. That's how strong this man's thing is. You didn't bag that up or have some type of container for Bubba's weed, your shit, you're gonna smell that thing everywhere in the house. That's what Bubba had. That's the types of weed I'm used to, the sticky icky. So that's my story, right? The best bud. The best bud, right? So I don't know who else has a story, but I know my story. The best bud was high school and in my early 20s. Best bud was high school, early 20s. Something happened later on. There was still good bud, but it started to change. The market was starting to change, and yeah, there's still people good bud. The best, nothing beats high school times, teenage times, and early 20s times. Nothing beats that. There's other people I know who had certain strong strands, but not like the ones what I just mentioned. And my friend Nick, who always checked us almost every day back in the days, right? Would watch wrestling, raw wrestling, and we be smoking like fuck. I can't even count. I swear we smoked at least 6 to 7 joints a night. And his stuff was sticky, icky. I think he was getting it from Bubba too. He was getting it from Bubba too. Nothing beats Bubba, right? Nothing beats Bubba. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. It's the Myrie Jane podcast with your host Sean Myrie, right? And I'm out.